Next up, we have Adam Green. I'm going to look at my notes a little bit here. Adam gave me a lovely little intro and email indicating that I should mention the fact that he works for NCH. That well-known new biological technologies company that eliminate sewage and wastewater pollution. Anyone who's heard any of my intros will know that a bit less shit in the world won't be a bad thing. So thanks to NCH. But beyond that, you'll be pleased to hear Caitlin. He's a healthy guy, enjoys cross-country hiking, and has started taking... I'm so pleased we've sat them together. He started taking up running to impress a girl. Caitlin and Adam sit in at Ignite. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give it up. Adam Green in Bacteria We Trust.
I think I'm going to cringe a little bit at that last bit. So, my name's Adam. I'm going to talk to you about the wonderful world of bacteria. I'm going to talk about some things that I think really highlight how astonishing they are as life forms. So, hit it. So if we start simple, bacteria are single-celled organisms that exist in vast and complex communities. In 1 gram of soil alone, there's over 1 billion bacterial cells. And on the Earth, I couldn't even imagine how many cells there are. This makes them the most dominant form of life on Earth. But they're also the most diverse form of life on Earth. So if you can see the orange and green segments, they represent all of animal and plant life on Earth. This huge blue section is, for the most part, all of bacteria. This gives them a huge range of abilities. I mean, anything that any animal or plant can do at a cellular level, bacteria can do and did do first. So I'm going to walk you through, first of all, 5 key examples that I think really highlight this. So, first off, bacteria crap gold. That's right. Some species will actually take the toxic gold chloride and convert it into solid gold nuggets. That's a 24 carat as well. But what's really exciting is that they do this in more than one way. Secondly, some species can be their own personal compasses, so they'll have miniature magnets lined up within their body, and this helps orientate themselves in relation to magnetic fields for the purpose of finding oxygen in relation to iron-negative environments. This third point, I think, is probably the most fascinating. In periods of stress, bacteria will actually share DNA between themselves. They'll even go so far as to breaking down their genomes, rebuilding it in the hope of acquiring the DNA that will allow them to survive in that stressful environment. It's abilities like that that allow this species of Desulphoridis to survive completely independently of any other life form. I challenge you now to think of any species that could do this without some sort of input from another living organism. And finally, bacteria do talk to themselves and to each other. They'll tell each other when it's time to mate, when it's time to feed, when and where there are dangerous antibiotics around, and even when they need to glow in the dark to help out their animal host get some food. But of course, what does this mean for us? Well, a great deal for a range of reasons. We are more bacteria than we are human. So if you were to scale up all the bacterial cells in our body, we would be, to human cell size, we'd be about 10 times the size we are now. No region highlights this better than in the digestive system. In our gut, it's actually the bacteria that digest the majority of the food. And this, we're basically in a symbiotic relationship with them. But they're found all over our body as well, and they play a huge role in protection. So it's not just the antibacterial creams. Our friendly bacteria on our skin and in our guts will suppress and eliminate unfriendly pathogens. This is why too much antibiotic in the elderly and immunocompromised can be harmful in the long run. It's important to understand as well that bacteria produce antibiotics. I mean, we didn't create them. We took them from bacteria in the first place, which they used to kill off their rivals. In the soil, there's a constant chemical war going on. And it's because of this war that defenses will always form. And defenses will form in the form of resistance. We should never really think that we can completely cure a disease. We can only kind of have the upper hand in an ongoing arms race. Similarly to antibiotics, we can utilize bacteria to eliminate insects, both as bacteria and their proteins. So in Germany, they use tons of bacterial protein to crop dust over the River Rhine to eliminate the mosquito infestation. On the a bit of a different tangent, we grow thousands and, well, trillions and trillions of lakefuls of bacteria to eliminate our waste. They're an essential part of that. A company has even gone so far as to produce a system that will eliminate pollution in any kind of wastewater stream. I don't know who. I don't know who. But on the woo. And then on the flip side, of course, we make them to produce some of our foodstuffs. Although we have to sort of raise our hats to the fungi at the minute who produce corn and all the real significant meat supplements. I think this next point is quite interesting because we know bacteria can be used to eliminate explosives, which is quite important in the soils of post-conflict states, for example. But we recently found bacteria in the ocean and even local riverbeds that will eliminate those hard-to-degrade plastics that previously we would have thought would be hundreds of thousands of years. And in the scheme of the planet, without bacteria, the carbon-nitrogen cycles, for example, wouldn't be able to exist and our globe would perish. But what does this really mean for us in the future? Well, it's worth a mention of genetic manipulation because the benefits for that are massive. The potentials are pretty endless. But of course, there's a lot of irrational and rational fears to go with that, so I see that as being a longer-term thing. In the nearer future, well, we've already started utilising bacteria to produce a range of medicines, extract metals. We even use bacteria to produce plastics, which can then biodegrade at different time lengths depending upon what we use them for. So I really see that in the medical and environmental capacities particularly, there's a lot of potential with bacteria. So I kind of hope this has been a bit informational and not too boring. I haven't, not too disgusting. I haven't spoken about STDs, which is a plus for me. So yeah, thanks very much.